Our favorite memory of Mr. Gawle is the time he almost killed Ingrid with his conducting baton because it flew out of his hand, and that was really funny.
Before the Veterans Day Memorial, when Mr. Gawle took us to the Village Market and bought us bagels.
My favorite memory of Mr. Gawle is from sophomore year when we were marching the show, and I decided to play extra loud that day, and he dubbed me the hero of the day.
Every time he imitates Larkin dancing, he does this like duck face. It's great. The other is probably during the pep rally sophomore year when he grabbed our band president, Ryan Amadei, and just held on to him as he was playing in the student faculty basketball game. That was a fun time.
My favorite memory of Mr. Gawle was probably all the times that at the football games he tried to mimic my dance move and tried to make his lips like mine and go like, and he does it every football game, so I really like him just that.
When he called Matthew Coe a dingbat.
We were in a lesson together with a couple other kids, and we were just playing, and then something I did one thing very well. I played the trumpet very well, and he would just compliment me and clap, and that was a good lesson. That's probably my favorite memory of Mr. Gawle.
Sophomore year when I had to play, I don't know what it's called, but do, and then everyone goes, yeah. But anyway, I think my favorite memory is when I messed that up one time, and then he just went off on me, and he just it was pretty funny because he belittled me, but it was in a funny way, and it wasn't mean.
His freshman year, actually, it really surprised me that he knew everyone's name. That's just kind of like a really cool memory that there's 180 kids in band, and he just knows everybody.
I'd have to say my favorite Mr. Gawle memory is when me and my friend Tara were walking in the hall. Mr. Gawle came up to us and said, "Hey guys, you know what I was thinking?" And we responded, "What, Mr. Gawle?" And he said, "Martinelli and Saltarelli." And then we were like, "For what?" And he said, "Marriage, Ellie." And we were a little taken back from that, but he wants us to get married, so.
Whenever he demonstrates a dance move, it's just his, it just shows his enthusiasm.
For me, it was probably about a week ago. I got my first compliment. It was pretty nice. I felt really good.
When he accidentally threw his conducting baton at a student while we were playing a piece.
This year at band camp, when he was emptying his spit valve and it just went all over me. And he thought it was really funny, but I was covered in Mr. Gawle. But it was supposed to make me play better, so I guess that was good.
That's gross. My favorite memory was last year. We got done playing at the adjudication, and the judges walked up and they were just saying how bad we were, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Bazinga!" And none of us knew what that meant, but just seeing Mr. Gawle's face when he was saying those things about us.
Last year, Mr. Gawle just really loved to make fun of Matt Coe, and I thought that was hilarious.
It was last year, junior year, when I started playing baritone after school one day, or after practice. He had came up to me, patted me, one of those pats on the back, says, "Pecora, really been doing well. I'm really surprised. Used to be a little dude, freshman year, a little annoying dude, but this year you're really stepping it up." That really made my year and made my day.
Every single time Mr. Gawle says, "Alex, you're doing a great job." And Alex, you're really a good role model out there, and you kill him. That's my favorite one.
It happens rarely, though.
No, it happens a lot.
I would have to say all the experiences in Jazz 2 with him.
Definitely from middle school when he used to come in and conduct for us, because he would always do it so calmly, and it would just be such a sigh of relief when he would be the conductor because he's so collected and calm.
I don't know, just he always comes over me and brings me over to the side whenever I do something. He's like, "Hey man, that's a great job, that's a great job." Or one of those expressions that's just really funny, but he's always so just relax about it, "Hey man, you might want to instruct the percussion section and do this." I'm like, "Absolutely, Mr. Rhodes, anything you say, sir, you're the man."
When I was a junior, I was in concert band, and Mr. Rhodes, it was March Madness, and we were watching some March Madness basketball. Mr. Rhodes, he walked by and told me to put that trash away, and it was really funny at the time. It's not that funny now.
Last year, when I asked to change instruments, he taught me the baritone, which was actually really cool because it was the first moment in the 3 years I had played band that I actually felt good and confident with an instrument, because I played trumpet. It was just not very good.
Every time he helps out, he'll just come over, start explaining the theory of it, and even though he loses me most of the time, it's still really nice.
Freshman year cavalcade, he swears that someone asked me out over the intercom, but that just wasn't me. But every year, like when it comes time for the cavalcade, he'll like remind me of it. He'll be like, "Oh, you know, you're gonna get asked out this year again." I was like, "That just never happened in the first place."
I don't know why or how I remember this, but he called me a beast. And that just kind of like stuck with me.
On the adjudication trip last spring, they were announcing jazz, and he said, or the announcer said, and now, Jazz 2, led by Mr. John Rhodes, and he did this little point, which has become,
synonymous with John Rhodes.
Yes.
Sophomore year, I switched to the baritone, and after class or during class, we'd go out to the hallway and we'd play. And we'd just be jamming out. It was a good time.
During games, whenever he's talking in the loudspeaker, and he was like catchphrases one more time at the end when we do the charge.
That's such a good one.
I always remember that sounds like it's a Rhodes.
When Mr. Rhodes comes over and we're having difficulty on a piece, and he'll just play baritone so we don't sound so bad. And Gawle's like, "Yeah, good job, guys." And we're like,
yeah. At a Jazz 1 concert in Norwalk, Matt Coe, a percussionist, ran into a door and his head was covered in blood, and Mr. Rhodes came to the rescue and I believe took him to the hospital that night and saved the day.
Saved him, man.
During one ensemble, when Mr. Rhodes took the trumpet section out and made us do the cruise over and over again.
I'd have to say generous.
Handsome.
Handsome.
Stern, but fair.
Talented.
Intense.
He's kind of timid.
Pretty fabulous.
Passionate.
Passionate. Driven. Zealous.
Energetic.
I'm gonna say out of his mind. And that's not a bad thing. Out of his mind, just so much dedication.
Dedicated.
Devoted.
Determined.
Devoted.
Enthusiastic. Enthusiastic and devoted, because I have two words, because I love him so much.
Enthusiastic.
Eccentric.
I would have to go with wise.
Caring.
Calm.
Swagger.
Chill.
Chill.
Reserved and very intelligent.
The man.
The man.
Humorous.
Fatherly.
Woodstock.
Super dash cool.
Relaxed.
Dope.
Calm.
Dashing.
They just experienced.
Musically intelligent.
I say funny.
Talented.
I'd have to say drain brain.
I like Drain Brain.
Calls me a drain brain a lot.
Drain brain.
Drain brain.
Wes calls me a moronic twit, so I'll have to go with that.
When he tells the freshman trumpets they're not even good enough to be considered bad.
So Mr. Gawle called us mice on cocaine.
I'm partial to dingling.
Definitely Dingleberry. There's no contest.
Dingleberry McSpazatron.
Brain dead twit.
Calls me honey. I think that's nice. Or sweetie. I like those.
What are you doing? Wilson, shut your mouth.
Not tomorrow, not after breakfast, now.
I really like the way he says shut up. He's like, shut up.
Whenever he describes something to be like the largest, he doesn't say like in the country or in the world. He says in North America.
Whenever he tells someone to just use their instrument and make it a lamp.
Pretty sure he's called a couple people Space Cadet.
Space cadet.
Definitely Space Cadet. That is definitely.
Did I tell you to fart out of your trumpet?
Whenever someone does like something small and ends up like wasting like a minute of time, that's like, it's not that big of a deal, but Mr. Gawle always sees a big deal. He sees like 1 minute wasted time, he's always like, that's 1 minute, and this is 200 people in the room, so that's 200 minutes of wasted time.
Mr. Gawle, Mr. Rhodes, the whole band really appreciates everything you do for us. We know you really put in a whole lot of time and effort for our show and just the program in general, really. And we just don't want that effort to go unnoticed. So we just really, from the bottom of our hearts, we really wanted to thank you guys for all the work you put in.
Just great inspirations. We really appreciate everything you guys do. And I know my high school experience would not have been the same without Mr. Gawle and Mr. Rhodes.